Okay, so far we covered how we call the worksheet objects and workbook objects and like that. So in this test, we want to handle, or we want to cover how we call a range object. Okay? And the range means is a one cell or one row or one column or some selection of cells as a block, right? And like that, right? So it doesn't matter how it, but we want to call them and do something within Visual Basic programming, right? So let's open, or actually make new worksheet number 4 and open Visual Basic and make a new module and paste all the code from our lecture note. Paste it. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subroutines there, and let's just run one by one. But before that, let's just look at it. In this subroutine, we don't expect any inputs because of the empty parenthesis, but it's calling worksheet titled worksheet number 4, and within there, so that means it's this some objects within there, right? So you're gonna see this kind of dot a lot, right? Then you have to call the name of that object, right? Then within that worksheet titled with that, we are calling range, which means a cell or collection of cells, right? In here it's A1 to B5. So A1 is top left corner and B5 is down right, okay, corner of that block. So you can imagine from where to where. And in that range we want to put AB. Okay, the question is this string or text AB is written on this entire range as once, or it's going to be written in each of these cells within the range, right? That could be a question. So let me just run, but before that, please look at the difference between this one and at least these two. It starts with worksheet title, set number 4, but this one says just active set, right? So let me do this one first. Let me run. It did something, so let me check it. Can you see that? A1 through B5. Okay, that's our range in the worksheet number 4. So that's what we are expecting here. And this AB is written on each cell in this range, no matter how big this range is. Okay? Then, when you do the second subroutine, what do you expect? It didn't give us the title of worksheet, but it only simply saying active set. And the range is C1 to D5 and same AB. So yes, a lot of times this is better. Whatever this worksheet you choose, we want to do this kind of action on that worksheet. And this code is good when you are in other worksheet, but you want to do something on this specific worksheet. So when you run this part, maybe this worksheet titled scene number 4 is not active, which means you are not selecting that worksheet, right, before running this, right? So one thing you should be very careful when you run these two subroutine is whatever you want to do, it's going to appear on the active set, which means the worksheet you selected before running this. So right now the active set is worksheet number 4. Okay, so when you run this, because you select it and you can see it, so let me run this second subroutine. Then AB appears from C1 to D5, right? But if I select worksheet 3, nothing in there, and if I run this one again, then it's going to appear on this worksheet, because that is the active worksheet at this moment, right, when you run this subroutine. So you see the differences, right? And before doing anything, let me clean all these inputs in worksheet 4, and let me go to worksheet 3, and let's imagine like yeah, I want to do typing this AB from A1 to B5 on this worksheet because they are empty space, and I want to do AB there. But if you just click this one, you're not going to get anything, but you have that one in worksheet 4, right? So that's the meaning of it, right? No matter what worksheet is selected at that moment, this subroutine is always doing that task at this worksheet, right? But this one is always for the active worksheet, the selected ones. So let me run this one with scene number 4. Let me run it. Then now it's E1 to F5. Okay. The next one is, at this moment it doesn't say anything about it, but it's just saying range A7 C9. Okay. Okay, so what does that mean? But let me just run it. A7 C9. A7 C9, right? Okay, so we're expecting that much by this command, right? The range is from same as this style, right? Okay. Oh, I didn't explain that one, but look at here. The slight difference between these two is the same thing, except what the way we call the range, right? It's from C1 to D5, or you could use like from E1 to F5, right? So it's a difference. It's like this, right? Okay, so please keep that in your mind. So when they use this code, it's just same as this style, right? Range from A7 to C9 and write AB, but it doesn't specifically saying whether it's active set or some other sets. It doesn't say anything, but it appears here. But for the other worksheets, it's not appears like that, right? It's only for that. So now you understand, right? If you want to do certain things in the active worksheet, you don't need to mention it, right? It's just typical, right? Usual way we can define, right? So without having that part, just this one is enough. Okay, that's the meaning of it. Now the last one is, once again we go back to this style, but you know when we are going to use this style. So in worksheet number 4, the range is okay. It's a little bit different. If it's a whole block of cells, then C1 colon D5 style, or double quotation mark, comma, double quotation mark. But in here, it's only just comma, comma, comma. Right? So what this one do? Let me run it. So the cell number C, G1, G3, G5, and when you see it, only that cell you have this AAA. So now you understand. For all these 4 codes using a block of cells, you can say a consecutive cells, right? So all you need to do is just mentioning what is the initial cell and what is the end cell in that range. But this is for just random disconnected cells, right? You just pick one by one by using just a comma. Then you can do the same task on the selected cells only. Okay, so far we know how to pinpoint certain range within certain worksheet within a certain workbook. Okay, and what happens if our range is not the group of cells? How about a single cell? How can you find out that? Then simply just use this command, right? So range with the index of the cell, and that's it, right? Then this is how we call one cell. But if it's only one cell like that, then there is another way we can call it, and that is cell property, like here. So cell with index number or cell with row, comma, column number. So these 3 styles are exactly the same thing. You can call any cell, one single cell, by active set dot range dot cells 1, 1, or any number, right? So 2, 3, whatever. or as we can check before, we don't need this, right? Just simply saying range dot cells 1 comma 1. We got the same cell. Or why do we need this range if it's only one cell, right? It's not a collection of cells. Then just ignore this one. How about just cells 1 comma 1? Why not, right? So from now on, if it's only one cell, then we have two different ways to call that one: range double quotation mark and A1 or anything, the index for that cell, or cells 1 comma 1. So because this is 1 comma 1, we know the index must be A1. So how about B3? Then we should change it, right? But be careful, when you call this way, we call the column name first, right? The English alphabet, and the numbering for the number of row, right? But when you use this, the first one is the number of row, right? And the second input must be column, so be careful. So if we're calling B3, then 3 must be here, right? And B is the second column, so we have to put 2 for the second input here. So it should be cells 3 comma 2. Okay, so we can use either way. And you know what, when you make any program within Visual Basic with handling a lot of cells with certain rules, whatever, so if you use any for routine stuff, then this is better because you can run these numbers from 1 to 10 and 2 to 3. So you are going to use this one way more than this code. Okay, let's check how it works. Open new worksheet, okay, and select A1. Okay, I did that, and open Visual Basic editor, and we want to add the new module number 7, and in there we want typed in this code. And this is a little bit strange. We just check, like you could use range with A1 or B1 like that, or cells with 2 numbers, right? But it has only 1 number. But let me just do that. But remember, before starting this, we select A1, the cell A1, and let's run this. Then somehow expecting XYZ, right? The text within a certain cell. What is the meaning of 7 cell? Can you see that? We select this one and run that program. So if you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when you select one cell, and if you just give this code instead of 2 numbers, only 1 number within cells, then it starting count from that selected cells and go that many times, and that is the cell this code calling, right? And put that input in there, right? Okay, then let's check this one. So let's check it one more time, right? So let me choose B3 and run this again. You can go over there